How can you tell when a vampire's sick? Well, they start coughing a lot. What's going on, YouTube? It is the weekend. We're inside the Hollow City, inside of Cold Harbor, over here on your mini-map to go over our first of two weekend vendors. And we are hoping for some banger items, but it seems we're going to start with Daedric items. Now, Daedric items are interesting, although this is actually pretty cool. I don't know if I've seen this before. I feel like this is not a new item, but I am a huge fan of interactable items, and this sarcophagus is pretty on fleek, as the kids say. But notably, we look at these two items, or these items rather, for two main reasons. Are they good for you, or are they good to resell? These are really the two reasons that you would ever want to buy these. And Daedric items notoriously don't do well. Daedric has that kind of BDSM theme to them. Small fringe minority of people decorate their houses with Daedric items. I will say, though, I do actually really like this Daedric window. I think this is actually a really cool light to come in. I don't know how far this light projects, but for 20,000, this might be a decent one to invest in just to see if it projects light very far, because I do like that color and I do like that design. But overall, Daedric items, not super exciting. Do still like the sarcophagus. 30,000 gold for sarcophagus. Probably is going to be something you're going to have to put inside your own home. I don't see these reselling crazy. I think you can make a little bit of profit on them, and then definitely if these items, if this item right here turns out to project that yellow light that it produces, like at a decent distance, I think that's actually a pretty decent investment as well. But overall, Daedric, not super crazy. And before we jump into the second vendor, I wanted to show you guys this because I have been telling you for a while that I've been working to develop a website, and myself and Paradox ESO have been working to make a nice web page for people that goes over some of the more event-focused stuff, some of the more niche topics that don't get covered, such as weekly guides, monthly guides, event guides, gold guides. We have the new player checklist on here, so that way if you could send it to your friends, like, hey, make sure you join this right away, make sure you do this pretty quickly. We got a whole bunch of nice little information on here, and you can see it still highlights the YouTube video that it's attached to, but it also breaks things down, very detailed, so that way people know right as they're coming in some different things. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're working on, so it's going to be linked in the description below, and feel free to take a look around, and I'm going to be pushing this on different videos. And the nice thing is that people have always asked on Facebook and Reddit, and oh, can you just make a guide too? Well, now we can do both. We can walk and we can chew bubble gum, just not at the same time, because I'm not the best writer. But notably, we are still in the legacy of the Bretons event, so you can see my video breaking it down. You can see how to get your event tickets, but also, too, I give you a quick rewards here of all of the different things, such as where the reward box comes from, things of that nature, but also, notably, best activities to focus on. This, I think, is absolutely crucial. A lot of people just kind of skip over, they just give you the event breakdowns. I'm always somebody that's like, here's where you go. Here's what you do. This is where the juice is. So we're going to jump back into the video, though, but please take a look at this web page here. We're going to talk about it more in some future videos. Let's get back to the golden vendor. And to start inside our golden vendor, we have Dreamers. Now, Dreamers is interesting because it's an overland set from Stormhaven. When you take damage while you're under 35% health, you knock down all enemies within 4 meters of you for 2 seconds and restore 1058 magicka. This can occur once every 7 seconds. Now, similar to the name Dreamers, and they say that death is one big dream, well, you're going to be dreaming a lot if you use this set for PvP. I would say this is like a 6.5. It's mediocre, about halfway through mediocre. Stunning people is great, but it's 2, 3, and 4 all over the place. Is this a magicka-based build? How many magicka users are going to be focusing on knocking people down? Do you really want to have to put yourself in execute range to trigger a proc on yourself? It's just so many finicky problems with it. It's cool, the effect, stunning, getting a little magicka back, but overall, 6.5. Next up from Moongrave Fane, we have the Drosakar's rings. For every bleed effect you have on an enemy, you increase your weapon and spell damage by 103 against them. You also have a 2, 3, 4, and 5 of offensive pen, crit chance, stam recovery, and weapon and spell off the bat too, which is actually pretty good. This is a very hard set to rate because stacking bleeds on people is very particular, and let's just say, oh, you wanted to put this on a werewolf build. how would I say that this would be in its best utilization? It's probably a good set. The fact that it's 2, 3, 4, and 5 already gives you a lot of pen, crit chance, stam recovery, weapon and spell, and then pretty much just weapon and spell damage of 103 for every bleed effect. Even if you're only getting one, that's still a 5-piece, pretty much guaranteed, 200 and 30 some odd weapon and spell damage. Not offensive enough to really say it's bad. I would say it's like a 7.0. If I put this with the best possible combination possible, it's a 7.0. Next up is Fjord, which comes from Eastmarch, so another overland set. So you could buy this from another player if you so chose to. Reduce the cost and increase the movement speed of Sprint by 15%. Now, if you were going to use this, it would be on a very particular speed resource farming build. And are you really going to gold out a resource farming build? Now, even on resource farming builds, there are other sets that are better that give you a higher scale to movement speed increases. So, I'm just going to say that this is a mediocre set because even amongst speed builds, it's still not the best. We're going to give it the funny number of 6.9. But here we have the big ticket item of the week, and it is a ring, which is always nice because you generally need at least one of those. And it's Sergeant's Mail. It's 2 is health, it's 3 is health recovery, it's 4 is weapon and spell, but it's 5-piece, have made it a staple of the game. When you deal damage with a heavy attack, you gain a stack of Sergeant's Focus for 5 seconds, increasing the damage of your heavy attacks up 645 per stack. Heavy attack users love this set. It is a staple amongst heavy attacking, and you might think, Jake, why is heavy attacking so important? Well, it's pretty much the most common way to solo content, solo build, world bosses, even arena content. Everybody loves Sergeant's Mail. It's all over the place. It's one of the staples of the game. It's a 10.0 out of 10.0. It's definitely a must-have if you don't have it. And the nice thing is this is a dungeon set, so you're saving yourself farming to get a ring, and even if you do get a ring, you're just going to have to reconstruct it anyway, because if you are using your curated drops, you're not going to get another ring until you fill out the sticker book or you get really lucky from a chest. So buying jewelry, especially rings, can always be very helpful because then it just takes one of the curated drops away from the final boss, and then bada bing bada boom, you get a gold piece to get yourself started. Next up is Shadow Rend, which is a 1-piece of mag recovery and a 2-piece of something very long. When you take damage, you summon a shadowy Clanfear for 15 seconds. This Clanfear attacks, dealing 1294 magic damage and applying minor maim, reducing the target's damage done by 5% for 2 seconds. This can be summoned once every 15 seconds, and its damage scales up your max health. This comes from Banished Cells 1, and there's a reason that that's notable, because Banished Cells 1 and most 1s of dungeons don't really give you anything good. This just continues with that trend. Just pretend that the Spindle Clutch set doesn't exist from Spindle Clutch 1. Bloodspawn is an anomaly. This is not a very good set. For one, so for example, sorcerers get bonuses by not having summons, so you would be losing those bonuses by summoning something. And it's just overall, it's confused. You want to have high health to scale the damage, but very rarely do you need to apply minor maim to something. It's not really a helpful bonus. There's just so many things wrong with this set. We'll just give it a 5.5. I wouldn't even say it's mediocre. It's average. If you just slapped on a random set, even if you needed something very specific, you're probably getting a better output by using a random set than this one. Next up is Swarm Mother, which comes from Spindle Clutch 2. And it actually has one of the best 1-pieces in the game of 1058 stamina and 1058 magicka. I pretty much universally use this on the majority of my resource builds because that's one of the best 1-pieces that you can get in the game. Trainee only gives you like 1,500, and that's of 1 resource. Granted, that's stamina and magicka, so usually you want to use this on your magicka users, but one of the best 1-pieces in the game, and I love to get the shoulders for that because sometimes I want to use a mythic head or I want to use a different head. But notably, 2-piece, when you block an enemy that is between 8 and 22 meters away from you, you spin strands of spidery silk to pull the enemy to you and taunt them for 15 seconds. If they are not already taunted, this can occur once every 1 second. Now, you might see some problems here. One, have to be blocking. That's a pretty big problem because if you're using this in PvP or even PvE, you have to be blocking. So that's very specific timing of the proc. They also have to be between this weird cattywampus range of 18 and 22 meters. So if somebody is like 7 meters away, not going to work. 23 meters away, not going to work. And even if you are blocking, the timing for this is just a bit ridiculous. It's best used as a one-piece set, and it's a very good one-piece set, notably. So from there, I think if you're looking for a one-piece set, it's like an 8.0. It's a great one-piece set, especially if you're a Magicka user, if you're building Mag Wardens, Mag Sorks, Mag Templars. These are great options to look at just to see, do I want some stamina Magicka? DKs, they're great. If you're looking at it as a two-piece, it's probably like a 6.5. Halfway between mediocre and good, and very lost on what it wants to be. And we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings, but also I would be a terrible YouTuber if I didn't tell you that the campaign ends in 1 day. Go to Grey Host, get to rewards tier 1, at the very least on as many characters as you can. It's 50 transmutes. And if you get rewards of the worthy, every one you open per day will give you a guaranteed 25 transmutes, and you can open them on different days. So say you get 5 rewards of the worthy, you're a good little cherub, you're fighting for your emperor, hopefully the blue one, and you get a bunch of rewards of the worthy boxes. You open one day, one the next day, one the day after. You just turned what would have probably been like 27 transmutes into 75 transmutes, and then your rewards tier 1 for the end of the campaign, which ends in a day, is 50 transmutes. 125 transmutes just from me to you. Just for getting 3 rewards of the worthy boxes and rewards tier 1. I love you guys. But very quickly, because this video has gone a bit long, we're doing a 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is leave a comments below. Tell me what item this week got you the most excited. Knowing you guys, it's probably the Sergeant set. It is a pretty good one, but I do like that light that we saw earlier. That was a pretty good item as well. Second thing is just make sure you're subscribed. We are so close to 25,000 subscribers. It would be an amazing Christmas gift to hit that by Christmas. And the third thing is look for a hidden word to be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to comment that word, you will win. Make sure to check out the website in the description below, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.